Good morning, writers. Hopefully you all have your writing learning intentions out and ready to go. Today's date is 1/8, and today as a writer I am working on setting a goal for myself. So we've talked a lot about goals and striving for accuracy and things that we can do to really help push ourselves as students and learners. So we want to make sure we're doing that in writing as well. So you have all seen this form before. It's the goal sheet that you guys did fill out in reading already. So this one says, what is my goal? My writing goal is, how will I get there? To reach my goal, I will. And how will I know I reached my goal? What evidence will I use to prove it? I will know I reached my goal because. So in order to do this, we really want to reflect on ourselves as essay writers. Before break, all of you wrote some personal and persuasive essays and used the writing checklist to help you grade yourself, and we're also assessed with that checklist at the end of the unit. So you should have a pretty good idea of what things you're really strong with and what things you could still work on. Let's take a look at some of the different things that we're looking for in this unit. So overall, I made a claim about a topic or a text and tried to support my reasons. That would be your thesis and making sure you have a really good idea to base your essay on. The next one is lead. I wrote a few sentences to hook my readers, perhaps by asking a question, explaining why the topic mattered, telling a surprising fact, or giving background information. I stated my claim. So having that strong introduction paragraph that helps hook your readers. Next one is transitions, which are super important as you write an essay. I used words and phrases to glue parts of my piece together. I used phrases such as for example, another example, one time, and for instance to show when I was shifting from saying reasons to giving evidence, and in addition to also and another, to show when I wanted to make a new point. Next is ending. I wrote an ending for my piece in which I restated and reflected on my claim, perhaps suggesting an action or response based on what I had written. And finally, organization. I separated sections of information using paragraphs. In an essay, it's really important to have that introduction paragraph, your 3 reason paragraphs, and your conclusion paragraph or your ending paragraph. All right, let's move on to that second part here. And we're going to look at development. So we have 2 parts to that. The first part is elaboration. I gave reasons to support my opinion. Those reasons, you'll have 3 different reasons, and chose the reasons to convince my readers. And you need the examples and information to support your reasons, perhaps from a text, your knowledge, or life. And in this case, it will really be from a text because we're writing a literary essay, which is an essay about a specific text. And then craft. I made deliberate word choices to convince my readers, perhaps by emphasizing or repeating words that would make my readers feel emotions. If it felt right to do so, I chose precise details and facts to help make my points and used figurative language to draw the readers into my line of thought. I made choices about which evidence was best to include or not include to support my points. I used a convincing tone. So I want you right now to think for a couple minutes about your last essay you wrote. How did you think you did on each of these? How did your teacher grade you on each of these? And what do you think are maybe your 1 or 2 weakest areas that you really want to focus on as a goal this unit? turn and talk to your partner about this thought. So let's now all take a look at our checklists. I know that for me, coming up with examples or evidence from the text to support my reasons might be a little tough, so I'm going to focus on that as my goal. So I might say my writing goal is to include strong examples to support my reasons. Now is the how will I get there. So really thinking of what am I going to do to help me reach my goal. So to reach my goal, I will, to include strong examples, I'm probably going to need to know my story really well and maybe reread it a lot. So I'm going to say to reach my goal, I will reread my story to know it well and really focus on finding good details. And then our last question, how will I know I reached my goal? What evidence will I use to prove it? I will know I reached my goal because, well, in this case, I will know because I have 3 examples for each reason. So because I have 3 examples for each reason. So now it's your turn. As you are sitting here, I want you to think of your writing goal, how will you get there, and how will you know you reached that goal, and go ahead and write those 3 answers down on this sheet. Make sure to use your checklist and think really hard about yourself as a writer to help you make this goal. Everybody should have different things because everybody has different areas that they need to improve on in their writing. When most students are finished, feel free to share out some ideas as a class. For your work today, you need to make sure you have finished setting your goal, because that's going to be kept in mind throughout this whole unit. And then you need to continue reading or listening to stories with your partner, really trying to understand the stories and be thinking about which one might be one that you would like to write an essay about. Make it a great day.